YouTube tutorial, and it's going to be about drugstore cosmetics. I want to start with cosmetics that you guys can find at your local drugstore, not anything that has to be super high-end and expensive. So the first thing that I do want to start with, I believe I want to say that this is the only non-drugstore thing that I use. It's going to be the dramatically moisturizing. Hold on, I really want to focus on this. I have to figure out how to do this. I don't. Okay, well, I'll read it to you. It's a, I've probably been using it for a couple years and I love it. I definitely use it on a daily basis, but another good moisturizer that I like to use is the Sephora, the Cream Rich Activate Hydration Intensive Instant Moisture Cream. Here I am trying to read the French side when there is an English side on the okay, so we're gonna try to get better at YouTube. I do want to show you what it looks like. It's just, you know what, I'm gonna learn how to focus. Maybe? No? Okay. Well, we'll get to focusing because clearly this isn't working. Okay, so the next thing that I want to do is show you guys how I prime my eyes. We are going to be using the Milani Retouch and Erase. So I like to just prime my eyes this way. Again, you look kind of funny, but you know what? It's all going to work out in the end. Okay, so that's what it looks like. Then I'm just going to take a beauty blender. Now you guys don't have to use a beauty blender. This is like the original one from Sephora. I also love these Eco Tools sponges. I have this one, and then I believe it came with this little smaller version, which is so cute because they're just like mommy and baby. But I like to use the bigger version, and then I'll use the end, and I'll just honestly just dab it into my skin. And we are done. Okay, so to set that, or to make sure that your eyeshadow is going to go on smoothly, you definitely want to go in with some setting powder. And I like to use the NYX HD finishing powder. It's one of my favorites. I'm just going to take a brush. Any brush will do. I do have this other brush that I like to use sometimes. So this is the Kat Von D one. These are by Morphe. I got these in a brush set from the Morphe store. I can link a description down below. Oh my gosh, look at me. I sound like a real YouTuber. I personally like to add the setting powder the moment that I finish blending that in and buffing it into my skin. Now, I know that I said drugstore, but this technically isn't drugstore. This is by ColourPop. It's their eyebrow little pomades that are very similar to the Anastasia ones. And I'm just going to be using my Morphe double-ended brush. This is the brush side, this is the spoolie side to kind of comb out my brows. Sake of it, I'm going to be using the Morphe one only because, again, it is a big brand. People do love Morphe. These palettes are actually really great, and I can talk about my experience with them on another day. This is going to be a very natural look, so this is what the palette looks like. We've got mattes, and then we slowly move on to shimmers. I don't know if I'm going to use a shimmer. These shimmers are super dramatic, so just we'll figure it out. So the first color that I want to use in this palette, the color that I want to use is going to be this color right here. So this is a brush that I'm using. It's just a fluffy blending brush. You can get one of like these sets at probably like Target or something along those lines. And all I'm going to be doing is putting it into the eyeshadow here. Okay, tap off the excess, and we are going to be putting it into the crease of our eye. So I'm going to try to zoom you guys in. This is the first time that I'm doing this, so You guys can see my face. Put it into my crease and film that for you guys, okay? Is I'm going to be taking a second blending brush that looks just like this. This is by Morphe, there-ish, kind of. Okay, this is as close as I think I can get without it like truly losing focus. So this is by Morphe as well. I got this in the eye brush set. And what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be taking, let's see. Let's go ahead and take this color that's right next to it. It's like a burnt, no, that's a lie. Let's take this color right over here, okay? All I'm doing is adding some to my brush, tapping off the excess and putting that right into the crease. Now for this, it's very important that I blend into the crease of where the bottom of the first color is. So that's where my guideline is, to have half of it there and half of it in the new area. That way you guys can get that beautiful gradient look and it's not going to look unblended or like you guys have harsh lines. I like to start off out here, get that windshield wiper moving, and then go right into the crease. So after I do the second crease, I really like to go ahead and now highlight my brow bone just so that this part of my eye is done and I don't have to touch that anymore. Now I use a base shadow brush and I think it just works for me. You guys can always use a smaller one. To be dipping this into this eyeshadow right here, okay? Tap off the excess. That is a lot of excess. Maybe I tapped too much, okay? There we go. Okay, and all I'm going to do is lift my skin and I'm going to use this without the mirror. I'm going to, there you go, just highlight my brow bone, okay? So this is what your product should look like. We don't have those harsh lines anymore. And now this is what I personally like to do. If you guys just wanted to go ahead and add a lid color here, you're more than welcome to. I'm a big fan of darkening up your outer V's a little bit. It gives you more depth and I think it absolutely looks gorgeous. That's definitely my, I'm talking to you guys like way zoomed in. Much better. So I'm gonna zoom you guys in a little bit, or zoom you guys back in a little bit, but like I was talking about, darkening my outer crease. So I'm going to be doing that using a smaller brush. It is more of that dome shape. It's not very dense, but it's also not very fluffy. It's just kind of in between, and I like it a lot because it honestly fits perfectly flat right up against my outer V, and I can just put a little bit of color on there and blend it out. I'm trying to do this makeup tutorial and I'm talking and saying I don't know a lot, and I feel like this is going to be really bad and you guys aren't going to trust me. But I promise you're going to look beautiful at the end. I really, really do promise. Okay? So now I'm going to take this palette and I'm going to use this color right over here. It's a very rich, beautiful chocolate brown, and I'm going to add that to just to one side because I don't want it to be messy and get everywhere. So I'm going to add it only onto this side, tap off the excess, and I'm going to lay it down in my outer V. So this is where I'm going to zoom you guys back in. I have to figure out which. There you go. Okay, so I'm just going to lay it flat and literally with the slightest patting motion add that into my outer V, okay?